Hello and welcome. On today's dose of development is a very, very sensitive topic. One that I think is not discussed enough. So last month, the South African government stood up and officially declared a national emergency. And you know what it was about? Not load shedding, nope. Not the economy, nope. Not crime either. It was the scourge that plagues our land, and that is mental health among men. 80% of all suicides in this country are men. You like that number? Sit with that for a second. 8 out of 10 men will off themselves. And the Minister of Health had to get on a podium in May and say, "This is a crisis." A silent one, but nonetheless, a crisis. And we've just been watching it happen. Today, we are having that conversation. The conversation that too many of us keep skipping over. So here's a stat that genuinely broke me a little when I read it. Only 6.6% of South African men who have mood disorders like depression, anxiety, all of it, only 6.6% actually went to get help last year. So that means almost 93 out of 100 men are still struggling, just not saying anything about it. They're carrying it, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, waking up, doing it all again. And they call it strength. And women, 18.5% seek help. Still not enough. I'm not saying women have it all figured out, but that's nearly 3 times more than men. The South African Federation for Mental Health, they actually gave it a name. They call it lethal silence. Not dramatic silence, not uncomfortable silence. Lethal, because that's what it is. It can lead to your demise. It can lead to fatality. And if 93 men won't go to therapy to seek the help that they can get, we could lose 93 men out of 100. Now that's a lot to take in. Look, I want to be specific here because I think we avoid being specific, and that's the part of the problem. If you grew up in a township or in a home where money was always tight, you were taught some things very early. You were taught that your feelings are not your business. Your business is to provide, to protect, to not make things harder for everyone else. Your dad probably never cried in front of you. His dad probably never cried in front of him. And so here you are, learning the same thing without anyone even saying it out loud. And then on top of that, you've got black tax. Oh, that big BT. That's actually funny enough, it's my reference for the money that I send to my mother. She'll never know what BT stands for unless she listens to this. But anyway, you've got black tax. You've got 46% youth unemployed. You've got the pressure of being the first one in your family to get a matric, maybe even a degree, and still not finding a job. "70% of South African men said this year that financial anxiety is severely affecting their mental health." 70. It's not a coincidence. That's the weight of an entire system sitting on people who are already told they have no right to feel weight. And here's what I want us to talk about honestly. Men don't disappear quietly. That's the thing. When a man is not okay, we usually see it. We just don't call it what it is. He starts drinking more. He's angry all the time, like angry about small things. He gets quiet and withdraws from everyone. He takes crazy risks. He overworks himself into nothing. And we look at those things and we say, he's got a bad attitude. He's irresponsible. He's changed. He didn't change. He broke. And because no one gave him the language or the permission to say, I'm not okay, those feelings came out sideways. That's what the silence costs. Not just the man. The kids who grow up without a father because he was there but not really there. Or not there at all. The people who loved him and didn't know what they were missing until it was too late. 70%, guys. So I'm not going to sit here and just tell you to go to therapy like it's a simple thing. For most people listening or watching, it's not that simple. It's expensive. It's unfamiliar. It might feel like walking into a room and admitting defeat. So let's talk about what's actually within reach. Just tell one person, not a therapist. Just tell one person in your life, a friend, a cousin, whoever, and just say, I've been struggling. That's it. You don't have to explain the whole thing. You don't have to have it figured out. Just break the silence once with one person. That's the real first step. And just FYI, there is something called the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. It is freely available and you can reach out to them on 0800 456 789. When I read this number at first, I was like, nah, this doesn't sound right. But it's that accessible. Even the number is something you can't forget. 0800 456 789. That's a free helpline available 24 hours where you will not be judged. They know that by the time that most men call, things are already serious. They want you to call before it gets there. And the last thing, and I really want you to hear this, what you're carrying is not a sign that you're weak. The financial stress, the family expectations, the pressure of feeling like you should have it all figured out by now, it's an enormous load, man. It's a big, big load to carry by yourself. The fact that you're still standing is genuinely not nothing. You just don't have to keep standing by yourself. You know, we've all heard this phrase, you can pour from an empty cup, and you can't fill a cup you refuse to acknowledge is empty. I think let it sit with you. Identify if your cup is empty and fill it. Only then will you be able to pour into others' cups. You know, and the first step to filling it is to understand what it means for one to have an empty cup. And see if you can find yourself there. And if you can't find yourself there, start reaching out. That may be hard. I'm a man. I know it can be hard. But it is also on us to identify these empty cups and then to identify the areas in which we can get help, like the SADAG. You know, the strongest thing a man can do right now in South Africa in 2026. Say I'm not okay, and then do something about it. That takes more courage than anything. So if this hit different, please share it. Not for me and not for the views, because there's a man in your life who needs to hear this, and he is not going to search it for himself. Put it in front of him. Subscribe to Daily Development Dose, and we're here every day for you to have real conversations. See you again tomorrow.